Louis Pasteur's theory of germs is ridiculous fiction, said Pierre Paget, physiology professor in 1872. The abdomen, the chest, and the brain will be forever shut from the intrusion of the wise and humane surgeon, said Sir John Ericsson, the chief British surgeon in 1873. Heavier than air flying machines are impossible, said Lord Kelvin, who was the president of the Royal Society in 1895, just a few short years before the Wright brothers actually took flight. Computers in the future may weigh no more than 1.5 tons, said Popular Mechanics in 1949. I could keep going, but the point is that when it comes to breakthrough scientific discoveries, sometimes the officials get it right, but sometimes the officials get it very wrong. I had the opportunity to participate in some of the activities in Mexico and Peru as an independent observer. And when I became satisfied of the seriousness and scientific credentials of the investigators involved, and that these specimens were indeed authentic anomalies, I realized that we might be dealing with something similar. This is a breakthrough scientific discovery in its early stage that is meeting some resistance. I offered to contact some of my colleagues at universities and institutes in the United States, asking them if they would be interested in performing third-party forensic analysis on the specimens, and I found that while all of them had heard about the story, and indeed many were quite excited about it, they were dissuaded from continuing due to essentially false reporting. So what we have is a communication problem. Incidentally, all of them are quite interested in providing some third-party analysis now that they realize that there's more to the story. And after hearing a little bit about some of the preliminary forensic results on the new specimens that you heard about this morning, I want to also make a call to any other qualified laboratory or university in the United States or elsewhere who is interested, for the benefit of science, in providing third-party analysis, particularly in ancient DNA, that can corroborate some of these preliminary findings. The teams in Peru and Mexico have been forthcoming from the beginning, that they are transparent about sharing and collaborating, and I would love to see more sharing and more collaborating happening surrounding these discoveries. One more quote. Gandhi said that first they ignore you, then they ridicule you, then they fight you, and then you win. And it's unfortunately often as true for scientific discoveries as it is in the pursuit of peace. But my highest hope for the discoveries in Peru and for the teams involved is that we don't have to repeat that cycle. That human curiosity prevail, that professional courtesy prevail, and we can spend our time not fighting one another, but instead exploring what is perhaps one of the most interesting and socially significant discoveries of recent times. Thanks very much.
Thank you guys all so much for your attention and your patience today, and for taking the time to come here and listen to this information. When we actually set out to make this film, we were going to make a film about the alien mummies. We could not wait to go to Mexico to see these bodies. We never really took in the fact that they could even be real. But when we were confronted with these bodies, and I say confronted because when you see something that you've never seen before, it can be quite shocking. When we saw these bodies, initially it was just fascination to be able to be so close to something that pretty much nobody on Earth has ever seen before. And and to be able to go close up to them and scrutinize their nostrils and their eyes and their ears and turn their bodies over and look at the structure of their bones. Every second that we spent with these beings, we started to feel something very strange, something that we did not anticipate feeling at all, and that was emotion. We started to feel as though there was a story to be told here, that these little beings were once alive and had passed on. And during their brief time on this planet, they had lived, they had breathed, they had moved, they had formed relationships with each other. We realized that reporters, politicians, naysayers around the world were trying to say that these weren't real. But here they were. Now imagine if that was you. Imagine if somebody tried to deny your existence. You know, many of the conversations we've had, we've actually likened to people that have suffered abuse before. Imagine having suffered abuse and going to tell people about it and being told that, no, you weren't abused. That's not real. That's the energy that we've been feeling with these beings. They are no longer with us. They have passed away. But somebody has to have a voice for them. And that's all we're trying to do right now. So we're here to say that this is not a hoax. This is real. We don't know what they are. We don't know where they're from. We don't know who or what created them. But they are real. There are so many of them now. It's undeniable. And one of the greatest things for us, the greatest gift, I guess, that we got to receive when we went to Peru was that we got to meet these doctors and these scientists that are so passionate about proving the authenticity of these characters. These people don't need fame, they don't need fortune, they don't need to lose their jobs and their careers. Jaime is an iconic legend whose name has been completely defamed in the media. But we're here to tell you that everything that you've heard about these beings so far in the media is not true. So all that we ask is that you keep an open mind. That instead of listening to gossip and hearsay, you listen to the science. You listen to your scientists and you listen to your doctors. And if anybody here has any contacts in the scientific world here in America, we implore you to share this live stream with them and to ask them to come forward. Jaime and his team are able to give actual specimens of these beings to anybody in the scientific community that is bold enough to go against what society has been saying and actually do the work and do the research to figure out what these bodies are and where they came from. But I want to thank all of you once again for being here today and having that open mind and having that excitement about the fact that we've discovered something. We don't know what it is, but it's really freaking cool. Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank Michael, Sola, and Serena. Thank you to them. This would happen. Without them, probably this would have not happened. I want to tell you now what is next. We're going to have a press conference in Peru, the 4th of April. Very reputable scientists from America. Very reputable, I mean. Top scientists from America are going to be there, are going to study the bodies from one-to-one, face-to-face, and they probably, I hope, will give the results in this live stream. If you want to follow the 4th of April, because this is not going to finish here. We will continue fighting and presenting this to the world. I hope the media, you are welcome to come to Lima the 4th of April at the Sheraton Hotel, 10 a.m. in the morning. Probably you will be able to witness if the Peruvian government allow us to have the bodies there. If they don't confiscate them, we will present them to anyone who wants to see them, especially the media, from the US, from around the world. This is huge, this is big. As a journalist, I tell you, this is the biggest story that I have found in 50 years. 50 years. I am an honest investigative journalist I became head of 60 Minutes, anchor of 60 Minutes in Mexico. I work very close to Mike Wallace and the people there. Okay? I have a program for the last 25 years in the Mexican TV. It's 25 years old, this program. I also have a newscast from Monday to Friday. I am a journalist. I want to tell you this. I am not a ufologist. I am not an enthusiastic of UFOs. Stop saying that about me. I am a journalist, pure journalist. I've been recognized in the Capitol Hill. I've been recognized in the UN. I have won 3 times the National Award on Journalism of Mexico. And I have been recognized by the journalists in Spain, by the UN, as I said, and many others. Because I am a journalist. But when they want to reduce this finding, they say, oh, it's a UFO enthusiast. The controversial Jaime Maussan. Why am I controversial? Because I say the truth? Is the truth controversial? Then I am controversial. Otherwise, I am honest, I am ethical, I have never been corrupt. I can be wrong, I accept that, but I never lie. And that's very important for me to say, because I am tired of being called of that adjective. It's not fair for a journalist. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you for coming here. I know all the people, all the media that didn't come, but follow this through the internet, realize how much you lost not being here. Because this is important. It's not about us. It's about the people. It's about the reality and the future and the past. Just consider for a second that this is real. Just consider for a second these are realities. Everything would change. And that's what the anthropologists and archaeologists of Peru doesn't want that to happen. And it's time to know the truth. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed here. I hope you felt that you are now part of history, and I hope you will continue reporting this because it's very important. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Thank you very much, everyone, for coming out. It means a great deal to all of us. My name is Dan Harari.